Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Blunt Talks, the only YouTube channel on the web that posts every day at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. So come check us out. Today we're going to be talking about how to avoid a cannabis-induced panic attack. Here's a little fact for you guys. I don't know if you know. Since cannabis became legal in New Jersey and other various states throughout the U.S., but particularly in New Jersey, because that's where I live, the amount of emergency room visits from cannabis-induced panic attacks has went up like 167%, which is like a ridiculous amount. So basically what's going on is a lot of people that are just getting into cannabis, and now that it's legal, they're going to the dispensaries and grabbing, you know, tinctures and concentrates and edibles and products that are really potent. They're having these panic attacks that can occur when you take too much cannabis in, you know, certain various forms. And people are going to the emergency room because they think they're having a heart attack because, you know, your heart starts racing and you get the crazy heartbeat going and start sweating, and you know that happens, man. It's happened to me. I never went to the emergency room for it because I usually always can identify it pretty early on, and I have some ways to get myself out of it, and those same ways I'm going to share with you guys today. But before I get into it, I would ask you guys if you could please hit that thumbs up button down there, and also that subscribe button. That way you can get notified every time I drop a video. And you know, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think on the content, and if you have any experience with cannabis-induced panic attacks, or if you have a tip on how to help avoid a cannabis-induced panic attack. So today I'm going to give you guys 5 tips on how to avoid having a panic attack caused by marijuana. So the first tip I got for you guys today, it's a pretty easy and simple thing, but some people just don't realize it when they get into cannabis. They don't realize how potent certain products and strains are, and they just go crazy and they overdo it. So the first tip I got for you guys today is to start slow, man. Don't overdo it, especially with edibles, but with anything. Even if you're smoking it, if you're just getting into cannabis and you're not a daily consumer, and you know you're just, you know, experimenting with it because it's illegal in your state, or maybe for medical reasons, don't overdo it. You got to realize that a lot of the products today, they're potent, and for a new user, it could have adverse effects if you're not used to it. So just start off small. Do your research on the, you know, the type of strains that are out there, what you're looking for as far as indicas and sativas, and now with the hybrids. And the best thing to do is to just, you know, knowledge is cheap. So that's what I do, man. I always do a lot of research on stuff, but what I'm trying to say is just start off small. Start off small, smoke a little bit, and you know, don't go big. And then, you know, some people, that's what they do, especially with edibles. They'll take too much and they'll end up having an adverse effect, or you know, they'll get paranoid, or they'll have a panic attack and they'll end up in the emergency room. But if you just start off with a little amount and just build your way up to just what you're looking for as far as like relaxing, and you know, when you're new to cannabis and you're not used to it and you have a low tolerance or a no tolerance, the best thing to do is just start off small and build your way up. So the next tip I got for you guys today, and I've actually mentioned this in a few of my other past videos, and I always think it's a good idea that if you're new to cannabis, or if you're worried about having an anxiety attack, or maybe you felt like you were close to having an anxiety or a panic attack last time you smoked, or one time that you smoked in the past, I think it's always good to have somebody with you when you're smoking that you trust. And I call it like a guide, like a cannabis guide. Somebody who could just be with you, somebody that you trust, and that could just, you know, guide you through the experience. Because a lot of times when you have a panic attack, it's not so much like the cannabis, but it's the mind state you're in when you consume the cannabis. And a lot of that happens because like who you're with, or your surroundings, or the environment that you're in, like it's like your house, or maybe you're in like a strange place and you don't feel comfortable. And a lot of times those are the stuff that cause you to have a cannabis-induced panic attack. So if you're with somebody you trust, and if you're in a place where you feel comfortable, like your house or somebody else's house that you're comfortable with, that is key, man, if you're having a new cannabis experience. If I was you and I was trying cannabis for the first time, or if I was worried that I was going to have an anxiety attack from smoking or consuming cannabis in any way, I would definitely try to have somebody with me that I trust that can guide me through the experience. That's a key tip, guys. It's always helped for me, not only with cannabis, but other drugs too, experimenting. Just having somebody you're with, the mood that you're in, and all that has a big part to play in how you can react to cannabis or other drugs in general. Alright, so the third tip that I got for you guys, this is just basically for edibles, and I'm talking about microdosing, because I know that a lot of cannabis-induced panic attacks come strictly from consuming edibles. So here is the tip, guys. Edibles are funny. If you're just starting off taking edibles and you take a big amount, like 10, 30, 50 milligrams, I hear some people say that they take like 100 milligrams and they've never taken it before. And then because it doesn't hit them right away, they take another 100 milligrams. And then when it does hit them, it hits them so hard all at once, and it puts them directly into a panic attack. And something like that, it could be avoided. It just shouldn't happen, because A, you should be with somebody, like the last tip that I was talking about. You should be with somebody to help you and guide you. And also, when you're dealing with edibles, you should know they take at least 2 hours to kick in. Sometimes, depending on your body type, your metabolism, what you ate that day, there's a lot of factors. It could take longer than that. So you can't just think that you're going to take 50 milligrams of edibles and then think that it's going to kick in immediately or within 20 minutes or half an hour. So that's a lot of times what happens, is that people take edibles, they don't get a reaction right away, they take more, and then when it does hit, a couple hours later, it hits them way too hard, and they end up in the emergency room or whatever. So as far as taking edibles, definitely start off small. If you've never taken edibles before, you shouldn't be taking a dose more than like 7 milligrams. And I truly mean that. I mean, like, when I first started taking edibles, I was taking a dose between like 5 and 7 milligrams. And then like I would build my way up. And even now, to this day, the most I take at one shot, and this is if I want to get stoned, is 50 milligrams. If you take a lot of edibles, I know seasoned cannabis users that just go into panic attacks from edibles out of nowhere. It's really common, and if you don't do it the right way, it could happen to you too. So that's why this is strictly for edibles. This tip is just start off small. Just think in the micro-dosing way, like small amounts, build your way up. Remember in the back of your head that it takes 2 or more hours to kick in. You gotta know this stuff before you even go into it. That way you know what to expect and you know how long it's going to take. Educate yourself, start off small, and I'm pretty sure that you could probably avoid having a cannabis-induced panic attack if you follow these simple tips. The last tip that I got for you guys is, if you are going that way and you feel like that you may be having a cannabis-induced panic attack, and you start to feel the signs like your heart racing, or maybe you're starting to sweat and you're feeling a little bit clammy and nervous, this is a tip from me directly to help you through the experience. I'm telling you, this has helped me in the past, and sometimes you can calm yourself down and get out of it within minutes if you try this. So if you feel it coming on, what I would do is I'll like lay down, or I'll try to like like get in a comfortable position, and I'll start to breathe, like take deep breaths like through my mouth, and then I'll exhale through my nose, and I'll just repeat, and then try to just focus on the breaths. And then once you do that, I just feel like that your heart starts to get back into a line with your body and your breaths, And if you just keep focusing on the breaths for long enough, you'll forget about the panic attack. And it usually helps, man. And sometimes it even helps if you lay down and kind of put your knees in like your diaphragm. And it's all about the breathing, and just focus on the breathing, because when you do that, then you really stop thinking, and all those negative thoughts that come with having panic attacks and that make them worse kind of just like fade away. So that's a tip, man. Like, breathing techniques always help me when I'm feeling like I'm having maybe a panic attack, because even the most advanced and seasoned cannabis users can definitely have cannabis-induced panic attacks. So it is known to happen. I've been hearing about it happening a lot lately, especially like with the younger generation, the younger kids that are experimenting with cannabis. They don't really know what to expect. They don't know how to use it, and they just think they can handle anything, and they can't. So that's why I wanted to do the video. I hope that these 5 tips can help you guys out. Don't forget, I'm posting every day at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. So don't miss my vids. You know exactly when they're coming out. 4:20, mark it in the back of your head. That way you can roll something up, pack something up, and watch my videos daily at 4:20. If you like what I'm talking about, hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget, guys, to have a great day. Peace out.